Everything Apple announced at WWDC 2020 in 13 minutes. Today's digital WWDC keynote event was jam-packed with announcements, with Apple debuting iOS 14, iPadOS 14, macOS Big Sur, watchOS 7, tvOS 14, and, most notably, its work on custom-designed chips that will be used in Macs in the future. For those that didn't have a chance to watch the keynote event and don't want to spend 2 hours listening to all of the announcements, we've condensed everything Apple announced into 13 minutes, providing a quick recap of everything notable. iOS 14. Features new Translate app with support for 11 languages in offline mode. iOS 14 includes picture-in-picture mode for iPhone. iOS 14 adds subtle design for Siri that doesn't take up entire screen. iPhone and Apple Watch becoming digital car keys, feature rolling out to BMW customers next month. New iOS 14 feature App Clips lets you access small part of an app. Immessage in iOS 14, mentions, pinned conversations, inline replies, and more. Phone calls will finally stop taking up the entire screen in iOS 14. iOS 14 compatible with iPhone 6s and 6s Plus and later. Find My app gaining support for third-party products. Emoji search finally coming to iOS in iOS 14. Apple seeds first betas of iOS and iPadOS 14 to developers. iOS 14 lets developers make subscriptions available for family sharing. Third-party mail and browser apps able to be set as default in iOS and iPadOS 14. iOS 14 tidbits and hidden features, privacy updates, emoji picker, new dark sky weather forecasts and more. iPadOS 14. iPadOS 14 features enhanced UIs for native apps, universal search, new handwriting support with Apple Pencil, and more. macOS Big Sur. macOS Big Sur unveiled with updated design, new features for Safari and Messages, and more. Apple previews big update to Safari on Mac, featuring new privacy tools, built-in translation, improved tabs, and more. macOS Big Sur listed as version 11.0 in system preferences. Apple seeds first beta of macOS Big Sur to developers for testing purposes. Apple adds web image support in Safari 14. List of Macs compatible with macOS Big Sur. watchOS 7. Apple announces watchOS 7 with enhanced face customizations, hand washing detection, and more. Apple Watch getting hand washing feature with 20-second countdown and haptic feedback. watchOS 7 adds new sleep tracking feature to Apple Watch. Apple releases first beta of new watchOS 7 update to developers. watchOS 7 only compatible with Apple Watch Series 3 and later. tvOS 14. Apple seeds first beta of tvOS 14 to developers. tvOS 14 brings Apple TV support for AirPods audio sharing and watching YouTube videos in 4K. Apple Silicon chips. Apple transitioning Macs to custom chips with incredible performance within the next 2 years. Apple's $500 developer program includes tools and resources for transitioning to Apple Silicon, plus a loaner A12Z-based Mac Mini. AirPods. AirPods getting automatic switching between Apple devices, theater-like spatial audio coming to AirPods Pro. Other announcements. Complete transcript of Apple's keynote. Revamped Apple Maps app expanding to UK, Ireland, and Canada later this year. HomePod gaining support for third-party music services. Apple's digital car key coming to broad array of BMW models manufactured after July 1, requires iOS 13.6. Apple shares teaser for upcoming Apple TV Plus Series Foundation. Apple announces Arcade 4 with location anchors, depth API, and improved face tracking. Apple's Craig Federighi highlights iOS 14 and macOS Big Sur privacy updates in new interview. Rewatch the keynote. For those of you who do want to rewatch the entire keynote, a replay is available in the app.